Today, we're going to do one video all about imprints from Alpha Wave 1 because one of the things that we was really good at doing was farming imprints. We had so many legendary imprints and epic imprints that we was able to use in the game, and we've used so many already, and we've got this left over. I wanted to give you guys my opinion. I'm going to go through each one of my imprints that we've got and actually explain what was good and what was bad, what was actually really game changing and what could be potentially game breaking. And if you like that type of stuff, smash like, comment and subscribe. These videos we've been putting out on the MrSneakyy Plays channel has all been about Godforge. We're about here having a bit of fun, learning the game, and having a little bit of a theory crafting, experimenting, discussion as well. So let's dive into the video, and we're going to start off with Anubis, and we're just going to work our way down like always. Anubis is good. His imprint is actually really good because you can actually put this on a lot of heroes that really do care about their turn meter increase when they're defeating heroes. A good example is actually Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh gets turn meter whenever an ally or enemy casts their ultimate. And then if you're able to get more ultimate by killing people, because that's what you do with your A2, your A1, and your ultimate, yeah, this is really good. You're going to get a nice 10% increase for the enemy that is defeated. So I do think this is not too bad on a lot of heroes. What I would consider Anubis's imprint to be is like a jack of all trades. You can whack it on many heroes and get some value out of it. The opposite of that is going to be Dracula, though. Dracula is a really powerful passive. It's basically similar to Hercules that does the exact same thing, apart from Hercules basically revives you and puts you on a clock. This does not have a revive. It puts you in a sleep state and then brings you back up to full health, basically. It is not too bad. It's not too bad compared to the Hercules one. Obviously, I think Hercules' imprint is a better version of Dracula's imprint. However, there is going to be scenarios where you don't have it, like me, and I might need that tanky based passive on a weapon that needs to be on my tank because they might be dying all the time. Or maybe I could put it on a support because my support is dying all the time. Like my Isis gets one shot or my Shamash gets one shot. Well, if they're gonna get one shot, this stops them, puts them to sleep and heals them. Yeah, we're good. We're good, right? Even though it doesn't get removed for 3 turns, it's fair enough if we can keep them alive, right? So it's not too bad for an imprint, but that's just me. Hell, though, I did get to use. I actually used Hell, and you can see I've even got 2 more Hells to use here. When attacking and has a 50% chance to remove Curse and increase the damage this hero inflicts by 2.5%. This is really good. I don't know if they made this intentional, but it feels like in the alpha, this sometimes stacked, but I don't know if that is just me being over exaggerating. But the fact that you're able to actually get teams like Anubis and I think other heroes that do apply a curse, as well as stuff like your despair and so on, you could remove that curse and actually just get a flat damage increase. Really good for bosses, because the bosses aren't really going to take too much advantage of the curse, I'm going to be honest, right? But being able to remove that curse and deal damage is much more of a benefit. It's not too bad. It's not too insane, but it's definitely in the middle of what we would be picking for the, imprint choice. Not the top priority. Loki is in the same. Enemies under charm that have that attack this hero have a 25% chance to attack one of their allies at random. This is the only imprint that makes Loki good, I'm going to be honest. And this is his passive. So Loki is a bit of a weird hero because he wants to taunt everyone and obviously make them attack him, but you're not able to actually charm enough. So the thing that you need to realize is this is good on charm-based teams. The thing is, though, it doesn't seem like in Alpha Wave there was that many good charm-based teams. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's insane either, because I just don't think we had the fuel for the fire, right? Achilles, though, was different. Achilles, there was a lot of bleed heroes in the game, and you can actually just slap the Achilles heel onto many players. And I do think out of a lot of the different imprints that we're going to go over, Achilles is one of the more refined to tastes because they fit the lore of the Achilles heel kind of perfectly, right? You inflict 10% more damage to enemies under bleed, but you kind of receive 20% more damage from enemies under bleed. So you can deal 10% more to them, but you take 20% more damage from them as well. So it's a really good bleed-based kind of imprint. It's definitely better than the shock one because the shock one has a 1% that increases per stack, and as we all know, sometimes you might not have 10 stacks of bleed onto the target, so you're not gaining that 10% damage increase, while this is, right? Beset is a really good one, again, for the same reason as kind of like Dracula's. Beset is like a good old jack of all trades. You can actually put the Beset imprint on many heroes and actually like this. If you feel like you're getting debuffed all the time, here's your answer. You have a 15% chance to instantly remove any debuff placed on this hero. It's as simple as that. I don't think I need to go too in-depth on why this is so good, but hey, if you get that attack down to, accuracy down to, attack down to, defense down to, there's so many just down twos, right, and down ones that you could be gaining in this game. If you're able to get rid of these debuffs, why not, right? So I do like this. Brynhild's is a very interesting one. This is only good in Radiance-based teams, and it's only good for the Radiance-based tanks that are going to be in those teams, because if you're a tank and you're able to force the taunt and you've got Radiance on, you're going to be able to actually just keep giving the enemies blaze all the time, which is really good for a damage output for a tank unit. So it's not too bad, not too insane either. I think it's definitely in the middle. Gilgamesh, though, is definitely up there. Again, really good imprint. You can put this on anyone and they are gonna thank you for doing this, because whenever an ally or an enemy activates their ultimate ability, you get a 50% chance to increase your own ultimate divinity by 10%. That is insane. If you want heroes to keep ulting as fast as they can because their kit relies on ultimates, this is what we need. This is what we need. It's that good. And honestly, using this on, again, a variety of heroes was pretty fun in this. Emotep, sadly, I didn't use. So I'm not going to tell you this is going to be bad, but I can already see its use, being able to place ward onto the target. It's not too bad at all. You do this each round, at the start of each round, so getting ward onto the lowest HP gives them that bit more survivability. So I'm not going to downplay this. I do think this is more of a supportive base or maybe tank based imprint that you're going to be putting on those type of heroes. But yeah, I'm not gonna say this was bad because I didn't really get to use it. Now we get to Leo. And Leo is one imprint that I kind of said earlier on in one of my videos, if you've checked it out, one of the best epic, I would say, imprints in the game. It was actually really good for tanks. If you are a tank and you just don't want to take damage, put Leonidas on them, right? Because you have a 30% chance to convert 50% incoming damage from attacks into a barrier. And what's really powerful is you can create that barrier and then create a shield. And when the shield goes down, the barrier is going to take over. And then when the barrier goes down, the HP will take over. So you're able to stack basically a barrier and a shield. Even though this is only 10% of your HP for a barrier, it's enough for those HP-based tanks. I absolutely love this. I think this is one of the coolest imprints that you can put on a tank, and it's really good at just doing what it needs to do, which is tanking. Another fantastic imprint. I didn't think, honestly, this was going to be good. I'm going to be honest. I was probably one of the content creators because I just don't play Raid Shadow Legends. I don't play these type of games. I'm more of an Age of Empires mobile player and a city building player, and that's recently got into this genre of games. wow. Just wow. The fact that you're able to place Charm and Confuse onto targets and do these really funky things that make them attack each other at times makes the Mordred imprint crazy, because it stops them from not doing that much damage. Because normally when you're confused, you take 25% or I think of the damage, like normally. It's nowhere near as much damage as you should deal. But now it's 100%. You take 100% of that hit. So if you confuse like a Gilgamesh and this Mordred passive is on that hero that you've done it with, well, poor Gilgamesh is going to kill that Aphrodite in one shot. It's just, it's gonna be happening. And that is because of how powerful this epic one is. I would not sleep on this one either. I think this is a really good imprint. And shout out to the Fateless team for making this ability. It's really good. Musashi one, really good again for any maybe tank or bruiser. I know Musashi does this himself, but this is basically anyone who places taunt. So if you're a really good taunt user, you're able to place ward on yourself and get defense out of it, which is really good value. So again, for tanks, you'll notice Musashi and Leonidas, really good options depending on if you're like a HP based tank that just needs shielding all the time, or if you're more of a taunt based tank and you can keep doing this ward combo. Now, what I would consider arguably, again, top 3 imprint. Yes, you're hearing it right. Pandora. Jesus Christ, this is crazy. This is really crazy. Pandora's imprint has a 25% chance to transfer 1 debuff on the hero when attacking enemies. Doesn't sound that much of a big deal, but when you get someone like Bastet that can attack 3 times with the Pandora buff on her, well, you might have a blazed 2 on one guy. Well, I can hit that guy 3 times, and if I am lucky, and it is lucky, I can spread that 3 times. That's what's so good. And on top of that, even if you've got Despair or any type of debuff in the game that you kind of want, like accuracy down, you know, the attack down, the defense, HP down, any of these like downs, initiative down, speed down, all of these debuffs, if you only get it on one guy and you need to move that debuff, you're going to be able to move it. So again, if you're all about spreading debuffs, bleeds, acid, you know, any of that jazz, this is going to be in your team. I can guarantee you. The ability to spread bleed is crazy, especially for someone like Dracula that wants as many bleeds on the field so he can add it all into his kit. Yeah, nuts. Just nuts. Set though, I'm going to be honest, like I did with Emotep, I didn't really use this that much, and that's just because I didn't really see my heroes, especially specific heroes, get debuff more. And maybe when there's more heroes in the beta and maybe on global launch, Set's imprint is going to make a lot more sense. But at the moment, we wasn't able to really force debuffs onto a target, which would make this actually really, really powerful. But because of that reason, and because I didn't really take advantage of it or use it, I'm going to say it's the same as Emotep. It could be good, but I got the feeling I don't think it's going to be as good as Emotep's one, right? To finish up, we've got some other guys. We've got stuff like the Reflect. This one from Ankh is okay, but again, this would only be for more like tank-based users I like. Sometimes support isn't too bad. ASGARD and some others that we're going to go down really quickly in the same shell. So you got ASGARD, you've got Guan Yu, you've got Shock, you've got Ramses, even this guy, Minotaur. All of these guys have got these 10% buffs on specific requirements. So this guy gives you strong hit chance, which is really nice at full divinity. This guy is going to give you more damage when you're hitting guys under acid. This one's going to be bleed in the same variety. This one's going to be drain. And then as you saw at the very top, this guy has a chance of placing blaze for the turn. So all of these are okay. And they're not bad by any means. I'm going to be honest. They're not. They're actually pretty good. But these are what I would consider stepping stones of your imprints, where you might use something like a ASGARD at the beginning, but then if you're able to get like a Ra imprint or a Bastet imprint or some of these other imprints that you might be looking for, even the Icarus imprint, you're going to be putting those on over this one. That's how it feels like. If you feel like you're somehow not placing Blaze 2 enough, that's when you're going to be placing this one. If you just need a damage output, Guan Yu, and again, the Shock and the Ramses are all good. But again, Shock is good, but Achilles is just a better version. And that's kind of what you need to realize. And there's going to be a lot of heroes that might be like this too, that we don't have access to at the moment. Apart from that, there is some actually good rares that you need to worry about. The good rare ones is going to be Isolde. So whenever an ally defender is attacked, you heal all allies by 2.5%. You could put this on other defenders, and if you run a 4 defender team and all defenders get attacked and all of them heal each other by their maximum HP, are you really gonna die is the question. And this is the same for Shishi, right? Shishi has another really good one. Whenever you have a chance of getting a debuff placed onto you, you heal allies as well. So this is, again, a really good version of maybe you get debuffed a lot on certain floors. You got weapons that have the Shishi one, maybe you got weapons that have the Isolde one, and you swap them around for your team comps. Really, really, really good ones. Another fantastic blue one, Hippolyte. Oh my lord, I love this. This increases the defense of all heroes allies by matching 1.5% for each hero matching this hero's faction. What that means is, if we go to the hero screen now and look at someone like Gilgamesh, you'll notice he's got this hero faction flag at the back, and so does Shamash. That would mean if I had my Shamash imprint was the Hippolyte, this would get a buff, and because Gilga's in there, he would also add to that buff. And there's going to be other guys that do this, by the way. There's obviously the defense one that we've got through there. There's going to be more of an attack-based one too. There's so many good imprints from what you're able to use. And just to kind of put icing on the cake on what are some good imprints, there's some that I've missed out. And you probably were in Sneaky. I know you've talked about a load already and you've gone through all of those. How is there more? Well, these are the imprints that I actually had been using. So you can see like certain ones like Osiris is pretty good. Osiris gives you a flat 10% damage inflict while you're above 50%. You know what I mean? Otherwise, if you're below 50%, you deal 10% less. I don't care because I'm planning on staying above 50%. I'm going to be honest with you. So really good little bit of imprint in there. We've got another good imprint. Like I said, not the ASGARD one, the Ra one. Anytime you trigger Blaze, you heal 2.5% of that. Absolutely crazy. Percival increases the hero's resistance by 5% for each buff they are under. Really good actual one for support, because these Percival imprints allows them to basically buff themselves up and not get crowd controlled by the enemy. Really, really fantastic. Beowulf, also fantastic bit of imprinted. Increases your damage against brawlers and, more importantly, to bosses. So if you're Gilgamesh or someone just needs that little bit extra ish, you know, that little bit in their damage, you're going to be able to do that through Beowulf, right? So that just kind of emphasizes, I'm going to be honest, so many imprints that I've gone through in today's video, and obviously there's loads more too in the game, but it just showcases in Alpha Wave 1 what we had to play with, what was actually good, why I liked some of them, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the best imprints that you got to use and obviously abuse in your Alpha Wave 1 experience. So then on Alpha Wave 2, we can all try these new other experiences out from the comment section down below. So until the next video, guys, smash that comment and subscribe. Till then, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.